You knew exactly what you wanted to say. You had the whole sentence ready, clear, precise, maybe a little sharp. And then something happened between your chest and your mouth, and what came out was rounder, quieter, safer. Not a lie, just less. And the other person nodded, and you smiled. And somewhere inside you registered a small, private loss. You do this so often now you barely notice it. The edit happens before the words even form. Something raw surfaces, a want, a hurt, a real and specific need. And by the time it travels to speech, it has been smoothed down, made more palatable, made easier for the room to hold. You've become very skilled at this. That's the thing no one tells you. The softening gets easier with practice, not harder. Think about the last time someone asked you how you were doing, and you told the real answer. Not the version where you say, a bit tired, when you mean, I have been frightened for 3 weeks. Not the version where you say, I'm fine. Things have been complicated, when you mean, I miss you and I don't know how to come back from what happened. There's a whole interior life running constantly underneath the sentences you actually say. And most of the time, the two barely resemble each other. Part of this is ordinary social tact. You're not meant to hand someone your unedited interior every time they ask how your weekend was. But somewhere along the way, tact became a habit that extended into the places where it was never supposed to go. Into the conversations that mattered, into the relationships where honesty was the whole point. You started softening there too, so gradually that you didn't notice the line you crossed. Here is what the softening actually costs. Not the big dramatic ruptures, those you could name. The cost is more incremental. It's that the other person has never quite met the version of you that is frightened or furious or wanting something urgently. They have met someone curated, someone comprehensible, someone easier to love maybe, but not fully you. And you know this. It's in the slight deflation you feel after conversations that should have brought you closer and somehow didn't. The question we're sitting with is, what are you protecting? Because you are always protecting something. Sometimes it's the other person. You don't want to burden them or frighten them or give them something they can't put down. That impulse is not nothing. Care lives in it. But sometimes, honestly more often, what you're protecting is the relationship as it currently exists. The softening is a kind of conservation, a way of not disturbing what is already fragile or already good enough. And here is the quiet trouble with that. Relationships don't actually stay stable because you protect them from the truth. They stay stable looking. There's a difference. A relationship that has been kept in a kind of controlled temperature, never exposed to the real pressure of what you actually feel, will hold its shape for a long time, until it doesn't. Until one of you says something honest one day, out of tiredness, out of an unguarded moment, and the other person realizes they were loving a translation the whole time. There's something else underneath the softening that is harder to say. You are not only protecting the relationship, you are protecting yourself from the specific vulnerability of being clearly known and then being rejected anyway. The unedited want, the real sentence, is a much more exposing thing. If you say the smooth version and the person still pulls away, that's manageable. They didn't really reject you. They rejected the careful shape you offered. But if you say the true thing, the precise thing, and they still leave, that is a different kind of loss, one you can't easily explain away. The writer Rilke wrote in 1903 that we are loneliest not in solitude, but when we are misunderstood at close range. He was writing to a young poet, but what he was really describing was this: the particular ache of being near someone and still somehow obscured. The softening keeps you close and obscured at the same time. It is its own kind of loneliness, self-administered, repeating. None of this is about becoming someone who says everything without filter. The full unedited self is not the goal. It's not even coherent. But there is something between the raw, unformed feeling and the carefully managed translation you usually offer. There is a sentence that is true and still kind. You know the one. You've felt it form and then felt yourself soften it anyway. That is the one worth saying. The small act of saying it once clearly to someone who matters, that is not reckless. That is how anyone has ever actually been known.